On today's show, Barb and I are going to make a chicken and veggie bolognese with zucchini noodles. This looks like a great recipe. It should be delicious. Besides zucchini, we also have mushrooms and seasoning, tomatoes, carrots, onions, garlic, all my favorite things. So let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. And here's Barb with the question of the day.
Do you like tomatoes? If you like tomatoes, give me a thumbs up.
Let's start with turning our burner all the way up, getting it to heat up. We're using a Dutch oven as a pan today. So we need to put some olive oil in there, and I'm using garlic and mushroom olive oil for the show. And then I have mushrooms. These are Pennsylvania Dutchman mushrooms. These should be delicious. And also, we're going to put some carrots in there with that. And if you want to measure things out, if you look right down below there where it says the Diabetic Diet Show, you'll see the More button, and you'll see the list of ingredients, and you can follow measurements if you want. I prefer just to give a nice big handful when I'm doing this. That always seems to be enough for me for my recipes. And now we just wait, let it heat up. While those are cooking, let's do some onions. I'm using a small cutting board today. That's really about all I need. Cut the top and bottom off this. Just like this. Then cut off the outside skin. Then all I'm going to do is a plus right down the center, like that, and that gives me the chevrons that I want. Then I'm going to take my cutter and I'll set up the large blade in it. If I can remember how to do it. There we go. Oh boy, that was complicated. So, put your onion in. Just like that. Isn't that easy? This thing is great. One of the best tools ever made. Clean up my mess here a little bit. We'll be doing zucchini here in a couple of minutes, but I have this chopper wrapped around the cord. There we go. And we just put some onions in here. Sometimes you're best not to put in too many all at one time in a small chopper. Put some salt in here. Always helps the onions to break down. Put some salt on them. Next is the garlic. Just knock off the ends, listen carefully. Then grab a jar like an old pickle jar. Put your garlic in here. Shake it. When you do that, off comes the paper. Just like that. Isn't that cool? And when you have like brand new fresh garlic, that's the hardest to get it off. Put it in our cutter here. Grab a lid. Next, we have some Italian seasoning that we're going to put in here. Stir that in. We're going to throw some more salt in here. And add some more olive oil. That's it for a little bit. Let's start on these zucchinis. So some of them are better than others. This one here feels a little soft. We'll have to check it out and see what it looks like when we start cutting it. So I have some different tools here for cutting it. This particular one here is a hand cutter. And this one here makes the noodles like this. Kind of a lot to do with zucchini, but killing time waiting for the meat to cook. And this zucchini is soft on the bottom, so I'm going to stop here shortly. That's interesting, isn't it? Then, my fancy garlic onion slicer has an attachment where this goes in just like this. You lock it in place. This one feels a little better. Cut off the top. And then it goes in here like this. Now that's a ribbon. Okay? Then it looks like this has a different attachment that you can take this bottom piece off here, like this, and you can put this one here in, like this. Snaps in place, and then let's see what this gives us. There you go. There's the noodles that we need. Probably should take the price tag off, otherwise we're going to have a shredded price tag in our meal. And if it gets too big, you can always just cut it up by the knife. Here's a little tool with some pointed things on it. This is got to be turned down. Okay, I'm going to reset my timer from the 5 to 10. Pour in my tomato sauce. Start the timer. This little tool is kind of a good idea, but it doesn't seem to hold. So the little tool doesn't work. Maybe it will on something else. But if it doesn't work on a zucchini, I don't think it's going to work on a cucumber. let's get these zucchini started. We're going to do that with some olive oil in the pan. Get our heat up high to heat it up. And a different spoon than the one that was used for the meat. Just moving around the oil a little bit, just like that. I don't think we need this ribbon in there. We can cut that up and throw that in a little bit later. So we'll let that cook. Hate to waste some perfectly good zucchini. I washed these as well. You always want to wash your fruits and vegetables when you bring them home. Here's a tip for you. You can wash these in vinegar. If you don't want to just use water, vinegar works real well to wash your fruits and vegetables. Very good. Now, I put a lid on because in the last few minutes, if you put a lid on your meat, it will steam your meat soft and also to help it cook. Because it was taking a little bit to cook, it was taking too long, and it wasn't burning, but it was just taking a little long to cook. So now here's a piece that I stabbed kind of by accident. That was 166. So if I just grab another piece here, and you want to grab whatever's sitting up on the top, that one's 190 and it was sitting up on the top. So this meat is definitely done. We can go ahead and get these burners turned off. Let's get some tongs to serve this up. And the first thing that we need is the zucchini. So I grabbed, kind of lay out my zucchini. There's two of us. So just kind of move it around a little bit in the pan and then just kind of separate from one side to another. So it kind of looks like equal amounts. And I didn't do a real lot. The zucchini does shrink when it cooks. So just like that. Then we can go to another tool here. We can just grab a spoon. Get all of the mix and just put that right here in the middle. This is going to be so delicious. Well, if you like doing these kind of shows like this, if you'd like, there's a couple more right here.